Hey, shalom. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right. Shalom, Gary, Thea, Julie, Harrison, Jeff, Mentat Assassin, Troy, Vicky, Admin Tet, Ryavith, Admin Brenda, Pei. Thank you for liking already, Pei. And Hoosick River Bend, and Michael Burke. Glad you guys are all here. We're back with our live immersion in Biblical Hebrew. Tonight we will be working through Hebrew Exodus chapter 26, verse 34 to the end of the chapter. Right? Hey, shalom, shalom. So glad you guys could all make it. But let's open for a quick psalm. 12 came to mind when I was praying what we should start with for our opening prayer. So let me just hop on over here. Okay, here we have Tehillim Yod Beit, that's 12. So let's have Kavanah, right? This is going to be a prayer, even though I'll probably say what I'm saying as I go through. Lam natzech al hashminit mizmor leDavid. For a conductor upon the sheminit, this is like, probably has to do with octaves or something, the eighth. Mizmor, a psalm, leDavid, or leDaviv. This is of David. Hoshia Adonai. Rescue, save, O Yod He Vav He. Ki Gama Chasid. For the pious one, the Chasid, is gone, is finished. Ki Fasu Emunim Mibnei Adam. For the faithful ones have fasast, they have disappeared. Mibnei, from the children of Adam, men, of man, so from human beings. Shave yedaberu ish et re'ehu sifat chalakot. Shave, this is like, usually translated like vainly, but it doesn't mean vain like having to do with vanity. It's more like emptily, right? Like the way that we're not supposed to use God's name, right? Yedaberu, do they speak? Ish et re'ehu, a man to his fellow. And then we're going to treat this as with accusative of means. Sifat chalakot, with sifah, with a lip of chalakot, of smoothness. I believe someone, last time we did the psalm, suggested pernicious lips, right? Belev valev yedaberu, with a heart and a heart do they speak. This means, since heart in Hebrew, in biblical Hebrew, means the mind, this means double-mindedness, right? They're speaking out of both sides of their mouth. Yachait Adonai kol siftei chalakot. Yachait Adonai. Adonai will cause to cut, so he will cut off kol, every, or all, siftei chalakot, all the lips of smoothness, or all the pernicious lips. Lashon medaberet gedolot, a tongue which speaks, or a tongue speaking, gedolot. So don't think of this as like from gadol being great, but from gadal to be twist, right? In fact, this is where we get one of the words for tzitzit from, gedilim. They're twisted, right? So in this case, it's distortions, a tongue that speaks distortions, like moti shemra, right? Asher ameru Lilshanenu nagbir sifatenu itanu mi adon lanu. Who, they said, or they say, Lilshonenu, with our tongues, nagbir, we will be strong, we'll be like a gever, like a mighty man. Sifatenu, with our lips, itanu. So this literally means like our plowing instruments, but this is also kind of what you think of in a primal sense of weaponry, right? Like, the old European scenes, they got the witch, and everybody's got their hoes and forks and all that stuff. So think of it as our weapons. Me, who? Adon Lano, who is our Lord? Who is our Master? Mishod aniyim en kat evyonim, ata akum, yomach Adonai. Mishod, from the shod, the oppression or the affliction of aniyim, of the poor. Me'enkat, from the enka, the outcry of evyonim, of needy people, needy ones. Ata, now, akum, I will arise. Yomar says, Yod-He, Waw-He. Ashit b'yesha, yafiach lo. I shall place, and this is probably emphatic bait, I shall indeed place Yesha, the victory, or the salvation of Yafiach, of judgment, or a judge, lo, for him. Imarot Adonai, Amarot Tehorot. The utterances of Yod-He, Waw-He are pure promises. They're Amarot Tehorot. So we have the same word twice in parallel, so we're teasing out another meaning from it. Or you could say the promises of Adonai are pure utterances, an imra. Kesef tzaruf ba'alil la'aretz. Silver, refined, passive participle, refined in an alil. This is a crucible or an underground hearth, la'aretz, of the earth. And that also would make you think of eretz. We have this other meaning, nuance of eretz, which is the underworld. Mezukak, refining, shivatayim, sevenfold. Ata, Yod-He, Waw-He. You, O Hashem, Tishmareim, may you protect them. Titzarenu min hador zu le'alam. May you natsar, may you rescue, may you snatch up them, nu, min, from hador, from the generation. Zu is kind of confusing. You would expect like hazu or hazeh. This is probably some old dialectical form. This generation. Le'olam, O eternal one. Or it can mean forever. Saviv reshaim yethalechun. Surrounding the wicked ones, they walk all around. They walk to and fro. Exclamation point. Keruv zulut livnei adam. This is very difficult to translate. There's different possibilities for it. Keruv, it could mean kerum, those who are haughty, like meaning they're high, like one who is like one who is rum, who is on high. Zulut can mean like nastiness, like nasty things. Livnei adam, for human beings, for the children of Adam. Or this can mean like one who digs a hole, like preparing a trap for the sons of men. Very enigmatic, and scholars have wrestled with that. But anyway, there we are. There's the end of the Mizmor. Shalom, Ani, Kenneth, servant of Hashem, William, Dr. Devera, Yakar. Glad you guys all made it. All right, so that concludes our prayer portion, our opening prayer. Please remember to like, and if you'd like to support our work, you could always sign up over here at patreon.com/Hebrew Literacy. You can also, there's other ways to send, we put all the time. It's usually in the description of the video. If you'd like to see how you can support the work, just look at the description down below. All right. I just love Tehillim. I love the Psalm so much. Anyone thinking if it's worth the effort to go through and, quote, master the Psalms to get to where you really understand it when you pray and stuff, let me tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. There was a time in my life where I was carving out 8 to 12 hours a day just studying Tehillim all day long. And it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. There's so much more. There's always more there. Hey, Shalom Raphael. Sorry, I didn't see you sandwiched in there. Shalom Chona. Pereira, Inc. 961. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that, especially in poetry. You get dialects from the various tribes and time periods coming through and stuff, you know. Okay. So, let's go to We're not in the graphic novel because it's still the same thing. The next several pages, you just got the whole page's text, and then there's like clip art or something. Kind of disappointing, Well, maybe I'll show you just so you guys can see why we're not. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, you kind of run out of ideas after a while, right? But like, so here. So this is where chapter 26 starts. And look, you got, a table, menorah, and a tent, right? Okay. And then that's it. It's like just words, Same thing the next page. Look, just words. We can pull it up a bit. And then, some people carrying something, right? And then, so that's what would have been the end of chapter 26. We'd have that. We're going to finish that today. Okay, so you see they're carrying stuff. And then a little bit more here. But look, just words. And then 27 is going to start. And then there's like more clip art, right? Okay. See? So, not that impressed. And look at 28, my goodness. It's like a flying turban and flying ephod. And, what's happening here? So disappointing. It's like two different people did the work on this, so I don't know. So we are going to be instead over here, okay, in the Koran pub. Tanakh. All right. Hey, Shalom Shaon. All right. Oh, the autocorrect got you. Autocorrect got you. Hey, Shalom, Ricky. Okay. So, Shulchan Aruch. I know what you meant, right? You meant Shulchan Aruch, right? Yeah. Hey, Shalom, Spinario. Shalom, shalom. All right, so starting with verse 34, we will be finishing up chapter 26 tonight, pushing through Exodus. Let's see. 34, here we are. Okay, you should see the pink arrow on the screen. Hope the sound is coming through all right for everybody, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Okay. Venatata, Venatata et hakaporet al aron ha'edut bekodesh hakodashim. Okay, so there you see the Lamed Dalet, that's 30 and 4. And remember, when you see that on the side of a Hebrew Tanakh, if it's on the left side, you keep going to the right until you'll either hit these two little guys here. Looks like a colon in English, like a big colon. Or you'll hit like just the beginning of the line, right? So that means the verse just starts at the beginning of the line. And if the numbers were on the right side, we'd do almost the same thing. If they're over here on the right side, then we'd keep looking for the colon, and then after the colon, the verse starts. So either way, it starts after the colon, or if there is no colon, then it just starts on that line, okay? All right, so here we are. Verse 34, Venatata, so that is again our Natanta, ancient Natanta. The noon went into the Tav, and it became Natata, and that Ta at the end reminds you of Ata, meaning you. Okay, so Natan, Ata. Okay, so that's, this, Natan. That's one of our vocabulary words here on this channel, which is give. And then the Ta makes you think of Ata, you gave. You gave or you set, right? Natan, a lot of people, they'll just learn the gloss, Natan, to give, and that's fine. A lot of times it's give, but it also means to set or to place, right? You can think of it like, give it to the table, right? Give it on the table. Yes, okay, that's just how Hebrew says it. You're setting it on the table, right? So, natata, you did it, you gave it. The vav changes our aspect. Venatata, so you shall place, you shall give. Et, we don't translate. That's our definite direct object marker. Shalom, Betty. Ha kaporet. And the reason for the et, I think most of you probably know this, but it has been a while since I pointed it out, so let me point it out. The reason for the et this guy here, we call this guy the DDO, the definite direct object marker. And this shows up when the verb is doing something to something, okay? That's something, if it's definite, like it's defined, it's picked out, from a group of things, you know exactly what it is, then we need the et. So if natata, you shall place, if it's just something, like some things, right? We don't really care which one. Just put some kind of table over there, right? Then we don't need the et. But if it's ha, this guy, when you see ha on the object, that of course is the, right? Ha, and it's got the dagesh in the next letter, right? Okay, that's the. Once it's the, it's definite. You need an et, okay? Or if it's somebody's name, if it's a name like Jerusalem, right? Or Gary or whatever, you need an et, okay? Or if it has a suffix on the end of it, like my table. So chani, put my table over there, okay? Then, again, it's specific. We know who it is, right? So like if you had a ball, if it was ha ball, the ball, okay, we need the et. It's definite. But if it's just any old ball, hit a ball already, man. Hit any ball. Then you don't need et. But if it's ball my ball, you got to hit it, right? Or if it's Wilson. If you've ever watched Castaway, Tom Hanks, he gets mad at his pet ball and he like throws it out in the ocean like he's having an argument with it. It's like, Wilson. He realizes, oh my gosh, I got no company. Okay. So if you named the ball and you're going to hit Wilson, you need et. Okay, those are the three ways we make something definite. You have ha on it, you have a suffix on it, or it has a name. Okay. Shalom, Jeannie. So kaporet, the root from this noun is kafar, which is to cover, kafar, to cover. This is where we get the word for atonement from. The idea is you're covering the sin, or maybe purging it out, depending on which direction we go with the ancient root. So the kaporet, this is the name. Well, it really means a cover, right? I'll just be literal, the cover. So venatata, and so you shall place et, okay, because something definite is coming up, because ha, the cover. If there was no ha and you just said kaporet, a cover, we don't need the et. We get rid of this guy. We would just say, come on, why is my mouse all over the place? We could get rid of this guy. We just say venatata kaporet. Put a cover on it, okay? Put a cover al aron ha'idut on the ark of the testimony, okay? Don't leave it open. Put a cover on it, man, okay? Venatata kaporet. But because it's ha kaporet, or if we had named the kaporet, or if it was my kaporet, kaparti, kapartecha, then any of those we need et, okay? So venatata, so you shall place et, don't translate, ha kaporet, the cover, the lid, al, upon, right? Al is upon. Aron is like a chest or a box. This one, traditional in English, we call it ark, okay? So we'll say ark of ha'edut, of the testimony. So why do I say the ark? There's no ha here. It's not ha'aron. The reason is this is a construct chain, right? So we've been using the Naomi nomenclature for this, where we put a kind of a cyan box around it. Okay. And whenever the last word in a chain of words that we call a construct, whenever the last word is definite, so again, how's it definite? It's a name, it's got a suffix on it, like whose thing it is, right? Like nya in Filipino, in Tagalog, right? Nya, right? So like ark nya, it's his ark, right? Or whatever. Or it's got ha on it, right? Ha is the definite article. It makes things definite. So here we have ha. Ha. Then that's going to impart its definiteness to the whole chain. And in English, we usually have to put the in all the words in the chain. So this guy's going here. That's going to be the. Okay. So that's why when we translate, we say the Aron, the ark of the covenant. Right? You could stack these up as much as you want. I could say like the ark of the covenant of the children of Israel, right? So I could say Aaron Aidut. Notice there's no ha now. Aidut. B'nai Yisrael. Because that last word is a name, it would make all of it the, right? I have to say the, right? And maybe I'll write that out. Let's see. So I could say, let's demonstrate this. It's worth repeating. Okay. So we could say. Maybe I won't write all the vowels if it's okay with you guys in the interest of time. Aaron. Adut. Just a few things. B'nai, oh man, I'm running out of space. B'nai Yisrael. I'll write this one a bit smaller. Okay. Okay. So, because that last word is definite, Israel is a name. It's going to impart the to all of these words when we bring into English. The. Oh, yeah. Maybe I did an extra. If there was something in front of it, right? Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll just put Kipur there. Nah, that's fine. Okay. So, the ark of the testimony of the children of Israel. Okay, since it's a name, we don't have to say the Israel. It was Ha'am, the people. You guys understand? Yeah, read what admin Brenda's writing. I would appreciate that. So this is called a construct chain. If you care about the grammar, you don't have to. It's okay. Just recognize the pattern. I don't really care if you know what it's called. Construct chain. And it is actually illegal. You cannot put a ha in front of any of the words that are not the last word in a construct chain. Okay? Let's do it here. We'll make the illegal color green. Cannot put a ha here. Cannot put a ha here. Cannot put a ha here. Okay? Only the last word in a construct chain can be in what we call the definite state. Only the very last word. Here it's a name, so you can't put ha on a name. We don't say the Israel. That's one of the ways that we know the Satan is an actual office. It's not the name of the being. At least in the Tanakh, in the Hebrew Bible. By the time we get to apostolic writings, it's something else. It's very different, right? But because it's in the Hebrew Bible, it's always the Satan, right? So that's a position. That's a position. A position created by God, right? For doing God's will. So that's because it's ha-Satan. It's never just Satan. Satan, by the time we get to apostolic writings from the intertestamental period, it already is becoming a name from Jewish Aramaic. Satana was the Satan, because that's just how you say the in Aramaic, in Jewish Aramaic at least. And then that eventually becomes a name that's given to the devil, to the Nachash, right? So he gets called Satan, right? Because he's always the Satan, right? So people sometimes get them confused. Anyway, grammatically, that's what's happening. Julie says, so this word for testimonies can also be for covenant. Usually covenant is brit, but we usually verbalize Ark of the Covenant. So that's a good question. This particular word, this thing, the Ark of the Covenant. Let's use light blue, okay. This guy has more than one name. Oh, I didn't know it was going to work like that. Hope that's not confusing. Let's go to the other page. I'm out of here. Let's go over here. Get away from my chicken scratch. Okay, up here. Aron ha'edut. You will see this. There's many synonyms for this. Maybe that's what I'm looking for, right? So you will see it, Julie, as Aron ha'berit. Aron ha'berit, the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, it will be written that way. And when it's written that way, that's when you translate the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, it's also written like this: Aron ha'edut, the Ark of the Testimonies, right? Or some scholars say the Ark of the Pact, right? Like the agreement, meaning when we accepted the Ten Commandments, that's why they're inside. That's the pact, that's the suzerainty treaty, all that stuff, right? You'll also see it as Aron HaKodesh, the Holy Ark, right? And I think there's another way we see it too. Well, The fourth way is not coming to me. But so that's a good question. So I think it's wise to translate it literally the way it's showing up in each instance, because there might be something that the text is suggesting there by giving it that particular name. But they're all the same thing. Oh, sometimes it's just Ha'aron, the ark. Yeah, and sometimes Ha'aron HaKodesh. Pardon me, Ha'aron HaKadosh. Sorry. The Holy Ark, right? So yeah, you'll see it different ways. It's all there. Great question. It's all the same thing though. Jeannie says testimony, I believe, is a different word, Julie. Covenant, it's a yeah, right. Yep. Good. Okay. What I like about this one, I think I've shared with you guys before, Aidut in Akkadian, this means witnesses, right? And the root is also witness in Hebrew too. A false witness in the Talmud is called an Eid Zomim, right? An Eid who's a Zomim, like deceitful, not really deceitful, conniving, like a conniving witness, something like that. So, yeah. And so with the idea being that there were Elohim that were witnesses to what was happening. Okay? All right. Bekodesh in... Now look, we have another construct state here. Okay? I want to say the, but I want to make sure you see why I'm saying the. So here we have. Oops, I was in highlighter mode. Oh, well, that's maybe better anyway. Okay. Oh, it's showing up on gray. I didn't realize I had to... Hold on. I got the green screen thing on. Really? Filters. Chroma key off. There we go. Yay. Okay. Better. Okay. So, be is in, right? You guys know bait. Bait usually means in, against, with, etc. Kodesh. Kodesh means sanctuary or the noun concept of holiness, right? Kodesh is holiness, right? Also kedusha, but this is the masculine form of it. Kodesh, sanctuary or holy. Ha, there's our the. The. I changed it to red and it went to blue. That annoys me a little bit. I'm vexed. I selected red. There we go. Ha, that's our the with a ah and a dagesh, the dot in the next letter, right? So holy of the holies. So of course, remember what we were saying when it's a chain like that, and the last word has the last word is definite. It's going to impart that to all the words in the chain. Oh, look at that. Oops. Fine. Let's just go like this. The. So when we translate them, we're going to say Be Kodesh in the holy of. And that sounds weird in English to say the holies, the holy of the holies. So we'll just say the Holy of Holies, right? There's a tradition to saying it. Sometimes you just translate along with the way that it's said. But if you just found this, say the world didn't know about the Hebrew Bible, but we knew biblical Hebrew, and we just found this, and there's no tradition, I would have been literal. I would have said, in the Holy of the Holies. I would have just be literal, right? But because there's already, it's not always worth translating weirdly just to be literal, right? Just to make it sound alien to what people know. We're talking about the same thing. Okay, so again, that verse, Venatata et hakaporet. So you, ta, shall natan, shall place, et, we don't translate, hakaporet, the lid, al, upon, aron ha'idut, the ark of testimony, or the ark of the pact, bekodesh ha'kodashim, in the holy of holies. End of verse. Yay! Brenda says the color coding is helpful. Glad you worked it out. Julie says, I agree, Brenda. It's great. Yay, I'm glad too, guys. Well, part of the trick is a little bit more prep time ahead of time. Because, I like to just crack open the Bible and let's go, right? We're going in our, But now, I can't have the yad there because this is a photo now. It's a photo in the background. That's the way that we got it to stay still. Otherwise, remember, it's bouncing around sometimes or like I would mark on the text, and then if I move the Bible a little bit or I push down on the page a little bit, like just flattening it, then the markings would move. So at least we got it worked out. Glad you like it. Baruch Hashem. Verse Lamed Hey 35. Actually, I need a drink. I need a drink of my English tea shop, organic cinnamon, moringa, and ginger. Kosher. Shalom, Elizabeth. Glad you made it. Wyervith says, still think we should go old school. Oh, yeah, putting the clear plastic on top and then writing on. I like that, too. That was a good idea. It's just how I do that, the colors aren't going to be as vibrant, right? You know? Yeah. Also kind of cool this way, we're able to save these slides, right? Save the markups. So, like, maybe, like, I can make a PDF or something for you guys with them. Ryman says, that tea doesn't sound very English. Well, I'm not going to have Earl Grey at 9:30 p.m. You know? I have enough problems with sleep as it is. And if I start hitting with caffeine late at night, I'm just hosed. I'll be up till 6 in the morning. Pei says, ginger tea, also good. Yeah. I also like ginger. I like spicy teas, you know. Like it. All that stuff. Okay. Continuing. Oh, no, you know what the best is? The best is English breakfast tea with milk in it, steamed milk, and some honey. Oh, wonderful. I remember the first time. Okay, I'll just mention it just for a sec. We don't have much to do. Look, here's the end of the chapter already, right there. So I remember the first time I went on my own outside of the country, and I was flying on British Air, going to. I had an internship at Moscow State University, right? So I was going to live in Russia for a while, and not an internship, sorry, study abroad. The study abroad program. And so we connected through the UK, and so it was British Air taking us flying into St. Petersburg. And I remember, I was, American. Most Americans aren't big tea guys, right? So, and I remember on the flight, the stewardess, she asks me, would I like tea? I said, sure. And she said, what? She said, would you like milk or lemon? I said, both. And she looked so disgusted. Like, both? Like, what's wrong with you stupid Yank? So, yeah, oh well. Oh, I remember. I'm flying, and one of the other students is next to me, another Jewish guy. And one of the male stewards, right? Yeah. Flight attendants, he says, would you like some water? And I said, I'm sorry, what? He says, water. I said, what? And I looked at the other student. He's like kind of giving me these look like I don't understand either. And then finally it clicked. And I said, "Oh, water! He wants to know if we want water." And the guy looks so mad. Like, have you never been from under your rock before? Look, I can deal with losing the R or losing the W. You don't get to lose both, okay? Come on. This isn't like a doubly weak Hebrew verb here. Yeah, that just came back to me. Goodness. Exciting times. Flying into Russia, my first foreign country, really. Like, snow's falling, it's nighttime. This military came out like to greet us. People, like, all in their military suits, all serious and stuff. It's like, wow. All right. That was interesting. Okay, continuing. Back from memory lane. Verse Lamed Hey. So that's 35, not to be confused with a Lamed Hey verb. Harrison says lemon or lime in coffee is sublime. Right, I guess I needed super lime or supra lime. Uh-oh, Ryvith isn't laughing. Yeah, wuta. All right, Vasamta. Now look what's happening. This happens a lot stylistically. I might as well point it out because they're right above one another. Let's fly over there for Ryvith to make it up to her for making fun of our British friends. Someone hit me with a grow ray. So look up here. We've got natan. That's the verb natan. And here we have seem, although the yod is gone. This happens a lot. Natan and seem, they're kind of like inverse synonyms. What I mean is that natan, 70% of the time it means give. And about 30% of the time it means to set her to place. And then seem is the opposite. Seem usually means to set her to place about 70% of the time. And 30% of the time it means give. And so what the text is doing, this is a stylistic issue I've noticed with these two words you'll see a lot. So the prophet will use one in one place, then he'll use the other very nearby, right? Just kind of alternating like that. So Ryvith says the Star Wars Rebbe should become a famous thing. I have another channel that I started that's got nothing on it. right now. Although I did make a video of me fixing a tablet, replacing the screen on a tablet and stuff. So, and just kind of, I saw that nobody had this particular tablet repair out there on YouTube. Maybe, I haven't edited it yet. So, but that's the tablet here. So, but I call it Solar Rabbi. So, I'm planning on talking about like, DIY solar stuff. Like if you like to, years ago I made my own solar panels from broken cells and stuff. People that are interested in that kind of weird stuff, little microcontroller projects, stuff like that. We'll see. So, but so far I haven't had time to do anything more than record that video. All right. So yes, use the Schwartz. Raphael says, is your family also believers in Yeshua? Interesting. You did outreach. No, unfortunately. Let's see. Nope. Oh, that's not true. My older sister is. My older sister is, yeah. Yep. If you're out there, shout out to Julie. Let's see. Harrison. Frank in Thailand says, good idea for solar. Frank knows about it. We've talked about it a little bit. I was thinking of interviewing him for some of the stuff, for some, because he also does DIY solar stuff. All right. Okay, Visamti. So, you shall seem, it's a hollow verb, that yod has disappeared. We're left with just sin and mem. So, sam, ta. So I said samti, you see that's I will place. But this is you, ta, from a ta, just like we had in the tat up above. You will place. Samta is actually you placed. Ve samta, and you will place. Et, again, same thing, DDO. We don't need to translate that. Ha, definite. Shulchan, right? So same pattern. See, we got everything the same here. Ha, we had et ha kapoet, and now we have et ha shulchan. The table. That's the holy table, right? Where we had the lechem hapanim, the bread of the presence would be on that. Mechutz, outside. You'll also say chutza. Mechutz, outside, law of the parochet. Now look what's happening here. This is a little, let me break this down for you. Oh yeah, sure, Ryavith, no problem. Be happy to share what I've learned over the years. And I still make plenty of mistakes, which is why I think it might be fun channel. I should show you guys sometimes the DIY battery that's here on the shelf just over there. Be interesting. No, I don't want to. Not right now. Purple. Let's do purple. All right. So look what we have here. We have la parochet. Okay. So what is happening is we have a lamed, which is 2, 4, and more rarely from. It can also mean it'd be a sign of the vocative, like "Oh Lord," with also more rare. A couple other things. Okay, and then we've got 9. Go back. Go back. Why? To the sloppy handwriting again. And then we have ha, which you guys know ha from ancient hal. Ha. So that we have a hey. Ha. And the hal, the l went inside of the next part of the word. And then we have parochet. Did not mean to select Christmas colors. I have a certain family member who kind of goes insane whenever she sees Christmas stuff. Like very loudly, loathes it. It's good she's not watching. Parochet. Okay. You know who you are if you watch this later. All right. And then we're going to add those together. Okay. We're going to add them together. And what's going to happen is the hay, the story I like to paint for this is the definite article. You think of it as the old Canaanites, right? They built some nice brick houses. And then the Israelis came in, kicked them out, and the houses remained, right? So the hay is the Canaanite. And the lamed is the ancient Israeli. He's going to come in and kick out that hay. So the hay is going to get erased. But look, he leaves his footprint, the vowel and the dagesh, inside the rest of the letter, right? And so lamed just going to move on in there. Going to move on in. Stop changing. My mouse is very sensitive, and I touch the scroller bar. Also, very nice mouse. Thank you to the one who donated this mouse, actually. It was a hand-me-down. But it's very nice. Long cable and stuff, too. So he goes in. Okay, he's moved in. And so that's how we end up with la parochet. For the parochet. Veil. Okay? La parochet, or of the veil, right? Outside, from the veil, something like that. La parochet. See, so just kind of transfer those colors up there. I think it might be nice just to make the definite article leave its footprint, just so you can see that. Okay, let me do that for you. Let me zoom in. There we go. See? So you see it? So we've got the footprint from the ha. It's still there, see? Ha. There's actually two pays there. This is not a bigad kefat issue with the pay. It's not because it's a weak dagesh. It cannot be a weak dagesh because there's a vowel in front of it. Remember, with all the bigad kefat letters, pay is one of them. When you have a vowel sound in front of it, the dagesh disappears. So the very fact that that one is there tells you it's a strong dagesh. And so that's left over from the hal, the ancient hal, which was ha. So the lamed came in, the hay went away, but we still have those artifacts, the footprints. The house was left by the Canaanites, and the lamed moved in. Interesting, Riveth. Yeah, let me know if you're going to go, battery and all that stuff. Batteries, when it really increases the cost a lot for solar. Back. Okay. Ve'et, and, don't translate, ha menorah, the menorah, right, the candelabra, nochach, facing, or in front of, ha the shulchan, the table. Al can mean upon or can mean by, tzelah, the rib or the side of the ha-mishkan. So this is another construct chain. I'm not going to label a whole bunch of stuff now because in the interest of time, we're just going to kind of fly through the rest, but I will maybe mark the constructs. Okay. Of the, right, the side of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle. Because it's it carries through over here. The side. Okay. Which side? Te'mana, the eastern one. Yemen being the root of that, like the right side, on the right side. So you're facing, okay. And the shulchan, the table, T10. So that's tin 10. Right? So we had the natan is the verb. Natan. Which is noon. Oh, it went blue. I selected green, it went blue. Fine. I'll break with my nomenclature. So this noon, it's a pay noon verb. When the first root is a noon, that noon oftentimes will go away and it will assimilate in the next letter. So that's what's happened here. So we have our tav and we have our noon, but the first noon was sandwiched between this. It was tin 10, became tit 10. That's why we have that dot there. He's telling us, hey, there's a noon inside. Get it out. There's a noon. Tin 10 became tit 10. And that first tav reminds you of atah. So atah, you will natan. Tit 10, you will give. You will set. Al, at or by. Tzelah, the side. Which side? Tzafon, the north one. Okay. Yes, thank you, Pei. Pei says, never too late to click like. Yes, destroy the like button, smash it, annihilate it. The like button's anti-Semitic, destroy it. Verse Lamed Vav, 36. Ve'asita ha-masach lefetach ha'ohel techeret ve'agaman ve'tolat shani ve'shesh mosar Maaseh rokeim. Ve'asita, so you shall make a masach, a screen, for the Petach. Now, this was a Begad Kafat issue. The Dagesh went away because of the vocal schwa. It's like le. So instead of le petach, it's le fetach. The entrance, the opening, ha, of the ohel. So again, we have another construct chain here. See? So the is going to carry over. The entrance of the tent. Techelet. This is a color. That's like kind of this bluish color I've drawn here, or it could be lavender. It's in that range. We usually just say techelet. You don't have to translate it. Ve and argaman and purple. Ve tolat shani and crimson red. Those two together mean. Ve shesh, and this is an alabaster colored linen. It's an Egyptian word. Mosh zar, twisted. Ma'aseh, the handiwork. See the asa? So a ma'aseh is something that you asa, right? The handiwork of, or the work of, a rokeim, a weaver. A weaver. Okay. Why can't I reduce that? Hold on. I'm trying to make myself smaller and it doesn't want to cooperate. Oi, let's see. Canon. There we go. There we go. Better. Okay. Okay, continuing as we finish up. Okay, great. All right, verse Lamed Zayin, that's 37. V'asitaha lamasach chamishaha amudehe shitihim v'tzipitaha otam zahav vavehem zahav. Hold on, I have red lines all around the camera that are blocking my view. V'yatzaktaha lahem chamisha adnei nechoshet. Okay, so this is our last verse. Ve'asita, so asa ta, you shall make. La, for the, see we have it again, for lamed am, the masach, for the screen. Chamisha, 5, amudei shitim, another construct chain. Amud is a pillar, from amad, to stand. Amudim means pillars. Drop the mem, that means pillars of. Shitim, which is acacia wood. Vetzipita, it's from tzapa, tzadi, pei, hey, which is to overlay, like to coat something. So, and overlay ta, you shall overlay otam, them. And now we have to supply with in English for the accusative of means here. Zahav, gold. Vavehem, their vavs. Remember the Phoenician way that vav looked? Got the two prongs on it. So their vav, their pegs, or their tenons of zahav, of gold. V'yatzak, yatzak literally means to pour, but in architectural terms it means to cast. To cast. I guess you're pouring the molten metal. Yatzakta, you shall pour. Frank has done this. I've seen some of Frank's videos where he melts down copper, playing with copper. Talking about solar stuff, making copper bus bars. Those were exciting, Frank, a couple of years ago, those videos. Yatzakta, you poured. Ve'yatzakta, and you shall pour. Lahem, for him. For them. Chamisha, 5. Tenli chamesh, or tenli chamisha. Give me 5. Adnei nechoshet. So this is an eden, which is a pedestal, or some say socket. Adanim are pedestals. Drop the mem. Adnei, pedestals of. It's another construct. Look at that. Another construct chain. Pedestals of nechoshet, copper or bronze, depending on how you want to translate that. They're the same word, unfortunately. Okay, that's it. We're 49 minutes in. Not too bad. Maybe any other comments or questions before I let you guys go? Tomorrow we've got 1 Kings immersion for our Prophets Hebrew. And then the next day is the beloved Psalms. We'll be doing a new psalm this time that Brother Jacob had requested. Okay. It's okay, Jacob, no problem. Oh, thank you. Jacob says it's truly a blessing. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that, Achi. Yes, Admin Ted has posted. If you'd like to send a PayPal gift, you can do so there. You can also give us over here on patreon.com/Hebrew Literacy. We're also always happy to receive e-gift certificates on Amazon, any of that kind of stuff. And in the Philippines, you can send a Pay Maya gift to Hebrew, to the word Hebrew, and we'll get that. All right. Very welcome, Yakar. Very welcome, Harrison. See you guys later. Oh, okay. Betty's asking me if I can review verse 36. Sure. Okay. Ve'asita, so you shall make a masach, a screen, lefetach ha'ohel, for the opening or the entrance of the tent. Techelit, that's the color, techelit. Ve'agaman in purple, ve'tola'at shani, this is crimson red, ve'shesh and alabaster linen, moshzar, twisted. Ma'aseh, a work or a handiwork of a rokeim, of a weaver. Rakam is to weave. Yep. That was 36. Okay? All right, I'm going to let you guys go now. You're very welcome, Annie. So glad you guys are all here. Have a great evening or day, morning.